Let's go to Christian Toto, who he makes it a job to see all of these. Right. Exactly, because he, of course, is a film critic, formerly here locally at the Washington Times. You hear him a lot here on WMAL, and he, of course, has a website, HollywoodInToto.com. Hey, Christian, good morning.
Good morning.
Were you surprised to see I want to start right away with motion picture, musical, or comedy. The nominees were Birdman, Grand Budapest Hotel, Into the Woods, Pride, and St. Vincent. I assumed it would be Birdman. I was shocked to see Grand Budapest Hotel, which I thought was a fabulous movie. Were you surprised? And does this mean it might be lining up for an Oscar?
You know, I was surprised. There were a couple surprises last night at the Golden Globes. There's something about Birdman, as good as it is, as funky as it is, and as great as Michael Keaton is in the main performance. It's a little off-putting. It's a little bit too meta. It's a little bit too out there.
I thought it was very weird.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I suspect that's just maybe going to nudge people off the Birdman wagon. So yeah, I'm not hardly surprised, but yeah, Budapest was a great fun. So I think it was a worthy pick.
It was fun and a great. Just the whole style of the film is amazing, my kind of thing. But tell me about Boyhood, where I think a lot of people may have never even heard of this film. They're just hearing about it this morning as the winner of Best Motion Picture Drama.
Yeah, it's remarkable in a couple of ways. One, because it was shot over, I think it was 10 or 12 years, literal of time. So you got a chance to watch the young boy in the film grow up on screen. Now, you know, acting, special effects do wonderful things, but we can't make people age effectively. It's a very hard trick to do. So what they did is they kind of got around that by just keep shooting that young actor, watch him grow. The movie evolves with him as a young boy, and then he's an awkward teenager, then he's a young man. It's a wonderful film. It's a great effect and a great gimmick, but it works because it's so heartfelt. So, you know, it came out earlier in the year. Usually Oscar films, they release around October, November. This could win it all. I mean, it's
really
that good, and it's got the buzz, and the Golden Globes certainly help.
That's one sitting on my shelf. I guess I'll have to look at that one. All right, but it's also TV shows at the Golden Globes.
Yeah, you know, it's a fun mix. And, of course, you know, obviously the Oscars don't deal with TV, but in today's day and age, TV is just so good.
It really is.
I mean, you know, people arguing about, you know, is Fargo the best TV show? You know, about Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy. It's just an array of riches, and they honored a bunch of them last night. One of them was The Affair.
Yeah, tell me about that. I look at these nominees for Best TV Series Drama: Downton Abbey, Game of Thrones, The Good Wife, House of Cards, and The Affair. Of the five, The Affair is the one that I know the least about, and wouldn't have picked it out of a crowd. It won the award.
Yeah, you know, what's interesting is that sometimes certain awards get a little bit kind of comfy cozy with their selections. A show that used to be great, maybe it's running on fumes now, creatively speaking, they still give it the best picture, the best TV show, the best X, Y, or Z. But the Golden Globes did nominate a few shows that were brand spanking new, and I think that was interesting, and it sort of shakes things up, which I like. I mean, Transparent, a show on Amazon streaming, won a couple major awards last night. That's remarkable.
Now, talk about the Golden Globes in terms of who is doing the voting. This is not an academy of filmmakers or actors or anything like that. This is the Hollywood foreign press, so that sort of skews a lot of these choices, doesn't it?
It certainly does. It's not a typical voting block, and of course, that particular voting block has had some snafus in the past. Pia Zadora won years ago. It's something that I don't think the Globes will ever live down. And also, in recent years, I think the movie The Tourist, which was mediocre at the very best, got a couple of nominations. So sometimes you almost sense that they want the stars to show up and get on that red carpet rather than nominate the best. But I also kind of sense that they're trending to more artistically credible choices, too, so that's a good thing.
All right, so Amy Poehler and Tina Fey were the host of the show. I mean, as a critic, not only do you get to criticize or look at the movies, you also get to make a critique of what is happening in the actual awards ceremony. How did it go in your mind?
You know, pretty well. I mean, they're rock solid together. They're funny. There were a couple of very, very good lines. And I think if you can get 2 or 3 good lines in a monologue, I think you've done your job. Also, what's funny about this particular show is the bar for Oscar hosting is insanely high.
Yes, it is.
Billy Crystal, you know, nailed it, and then he came back a couple of years ago, and he wasn't quite his old self. It just, no matter what you do, you get criticized, and I think it's a softer kind of atmosphere here. So within that realm, they did just fine, I think.
I think they said they're not going to do it again. Is that right?
3 and done, 3 in a row. You know, I also want to mention that they did a couple of Bill Cosby jokes, and, you know, I think that they're kind of so beloved and so sort of in a protected class as far as their comedic styling. They can kind of say whatever they want. I mean, they're adorable, they're sweet, they're funny, they're clever. I don't know if another comic went out there and trotted out some Bill Cosby jokes that they fit.
Let's give you all a taste of the Cosby humor, because people will be talking about it today around the coffee maker and in your cubicles. Here's what Tina Fey and Amy Poehler said last night about Cosby.
Bill Cosby has finally spoken out about the allegations against him. Cosby admitted to a reporter, "I put the pills in the people. The people did not want the pills in them." No, Tina, that's not right. That's not right. It's more like, "I got the pills in the bathroom, but I put them in the people."
All right. That's funny. It is. Hey, Christian, going back now, what are we, like 3 weeks away, I think, from the Oscar nominations? And it's funny, a lot of people nowadays, this is when they start really thinking, okay, what movies should I go see? And so given that, let me run down these are the 10 nominees for Best Picture, because the Golden Globes, they split drama for comedy. Boyhood, Foxcatcher, The Imitation Game, Selma, The Theory of Everything, Birdman, Grand Budapest Hotel, Into the Woods, Pride, St. Vincent. Do you think that those will pretty much mirror what the Oscars come up with, or what is omitted from that list, and who do you like?
You know, I think that list is pretty complete. I think Into the Woods will not make it. I think otherwise you're going to see that the overlap will be significant. So, off the top of my head, I can't think of any other movie that sort of needs to be on that list. American Sniper is a terrific film. It deserves to be on the list. I don't know if it will be there or not, but that's the one film that kind of jumps out at me, and it's doing extraordinarily well in very limited release. So that one's one to watch out for. You know, as much as I think Boyhood has a slight edge at the moment, I think Selma could surprise. I don't think this
even with all the criticism of that movie.
What's that?
Even with all the criticism of Selma?
You know, I think that's pretty typical this time of year. Historically based movies always get teased and sort of taunted for, well, you got this wrong, well, you got that wrong. It happens a lot, and it often doesn't derail the Oscar hopes. So it is a piece of the conversation. It could have an impact, but I don't think it will with Selma. I think it still has a strong chance. But I just don't think there's sort of that runaway train type of movie that, X and it's going to win all the major awards. It's going to sweep. I don't think we're going to see a sweep this year.
All right, Christian Toto, thank you so much for joining us today. It's always good to have you, sir. And again, his website is HollywoodInToto.com. Thanks, Christian.
Thank you.